So let us now turn to our final panelist, Lyn Adamson, who will just spend a couple of minutes talking about a couple of ways in which you can actually influence Canada's climate policy, if you should so wish. Now, Lyn is a lifelong peace activist, a Quaker, an environmental campaigner. She's a nonviolence trainer and a conflict resolution practitioner. Lyn is co-chair of Climate Fast, co-chair of Canadian Voice of Women for Peace, board director of Science for Peace. So you can imagine that Lyn has been extremely busy, especially in the last few weeks, but in general, she's a fantastic activist, and we're very, very indebted to her for all her work. So Lyn, please tell us what we should be doing to influence Canadian policy.
Thank you very much. And I just want to say that everything we do makes a difference. So our organizing together really will change the future. It really can, and it really will. And it has already made some changes. So you could look at the fact that Canada was actually speaking up about the need for a global carbon price at the COP. And that is the result of 10 years of lobbying by Citizens Climate Lobby to get Canada to adopt a carbon price and now advocate for it internationally. That is not the whole of the solution by any means. We've had very good presentations that show us exactly the challenges that we face. But I simply want to give it as an example of when we go for something, we can often make a difference. We have to make our lobbying efforts match, and be stronger than the oil and gas lobby. And that is a challenge, but we can do it. So there was a question that was forwarded to me about what are the campaigns that we next need to be working on. There right now is a Climate Code Red lobby campaign that Council of Canadians is working on, and other groups are joining in. A Climate Fast is joining in on that as well. And that involves getting people to sign petitions for the just transition, those planks, and bringing those to their MPs for meetings. And we have recently met, that is to say, the Toronto East End Climate Collective and myself. I was part of the meeting with one of the Liberal MPs who stressed to us that meeting with MPs is extremely important. So that is one thing we can work on, the just transition legislation that we want to see them get it right. So the twin threats of the climate crisis and militarization, as Tamara talked about, we're both close to midnight on those. So we can dial that threat down and help ensure there's a livable planet for the future for our kids. I'm a mother and grandmother, and I'm sure many of you are as well. And this is their life we are talking about, the world that will be there for them. So it is really important to get involved. And there are many different groups you can join. The three groups that are bringing you this afternoon session are Science for Peace, Climate Fast, and SCAN. And I'll put their websites in the chat and check them out and see which is the right group for you. There are also groups like Toronto 350 involved in activism, and Citizens Climate Lobby with the lobbying politicians. Also letter writing, because that's extremely important to get letters in the paper, to write op-eds and to express what needs to be said. Some of those get op-eds in the Hill Times, which all the politicians read. So writing is very important. Science for Peace is also involved in that. And you can be sure to stay well informed by subscribing to the Energy Mix for updates 3 times a week. I'll put that in the chat as well. So your skills are needed. Your voice is needed, whether you have a few hours per month, several hours per week, or a few minutes or an hour every day, you can make a contribution that matters. We need all kinds of skills in this movement, and we do need to build this movement. It's got to be stronger than it is right now. We are the lobby for the future. If the status quo is to change, it will be because we have helped to create the political will for that status quo to change. So we have, as I said, the just transition legislation. We also have the provincial election next spring. We need to build a campaign right across this province so that we get a climate action friendly government. And that's what we need. So find a group that suits your interests, the time you have available, and and get involved. So I will now put these links in the chat, and perhaps we can also send a follow-up note to the people who've been on the call today so that you have direct links there as well. Thank you, Richard. I think that's all I was really hoping to say today, but honestly, people, please get involved. We really do need everyone on the team for our planet for the future. Thank you.